Good morning, class. Today I'm going to read you the book that's called Oscar and the Frog. It is a book about growing up, and it is written by and illustrated by Jeff Waring. All right, here we go. One spring day by the pond, Oscar saw some creatures he had not seen before. Frog hopped up. "They are tadpoles," Frog said. "I was a tadpole before I grew up." Oscar stared at Frog. He didn't look like a tadpole at all. "Don't be silly, Frog," Oscar said, laughing. "It's true," Frog said, and he told Oscar how frogs grow. "At first I looked like a dot in an egg. The egg was soft as jelly. I grew in the egg, then hatched out as a wiggly tadpole. I was hungry for pondweed. It helped me grow. I could breathe underwater through gills just like a fish. Later my gills disappeared as I grew lungs to breathe air with. I also grew back legs. Then front legs, and my tail started to shrink. After 3 months I was a little frog. I kicked my new legs and jumped out of the water to live on the bank." "What else hatches out of eggs?" Oscar asked. They looked in the pond. Frog showed Oscar some eggs that had been laid under water. Many water snails lay their eggs in pouches of jelly on stones or on plants. Dragonflies often lay their eggs on a plant stem just below the water. And fish lay lots of eggs. The perch winds her eggs in long threads around plants, twigs, or stones. They looked on the bank, and Frog showed Oscar some eggs that had been laid where it's dry. Many kinds of butterflies lay their eggs on the undersides of leaves. When the caterpillars hatch out of the eggs, they eat the leaves. Many birds lay their eggs in nests high off the ground. Here the chicks will be safe from animals who might want to eat them when they hatch. Ducks often nest on the ground close to water, so their ducklings will be able to swim quickly away from danger." Do plants hatch out of eggs? What do you think, class? Do plants hatch out of eggs? Oscar asked. "No," said Frog. "Most plants sprout from seeds. Each plant makes its own kind of seed. The seeds of apple trees are stored inside their fruit. Strawberry plants have small seeds on the outside of their fruit. Poppy plants have tiny seeds. They are light enough to be carried by the wind. Coconuts are the seeds of coconut palm trees, and they are huge and they can float. Can you imagine a seed that's about that big? That is a big seed. And some seeds are just teeny, teeny, tiny. You can barely see them. Some seeds even grow under the ground. Most seeds ripen above the ground, but the seeds of the peanut plant grow in the earth, and that's what we eat when we eat peanuts, or the peanut plant seed. I did not hatch out of an egg. Or did I sprout from a seed? Did I hatch out of an egg? Or did I sprout from a seed? Oscar asked. Neither, said Frog. What kind of an animal is a cat if it doesn't sprout from a seed and it doesn't hatch out of an egg? It's not an egg baby. We learned about this earlier. I want you to think in your head, what is that called? Neither, said Frog. You were born. You looked a lot like you do now, only much smaller, with fur and paws and ears and a tail. You were hungry for milk from your mother. So a cat is not an egg baby. He has fur and he drinks milk from his mama. It sounds like he is a mammal. Why was I hungry for milk? Oscar asked. It helped you to grow, said Frog. Milk for you, pondweed for me, leaves for the caterpillars, and bugs for those baby birds. We all need different food to grow. Oscar stretched. Am I so big now? He told Frog. But you're not as big as you will be, said Frog. Are you? Asked Frog. Yes, Frog answered. I've stopped growing now. I'm as big as I'm going to get. How long does it take to grow up? Oscar asked. Well, it depends, said Frog. This flower will be full grown in a few days, but this young tree won't be tall until you are a very old cat. The baby birds will be as big as their mother next spring, Frog went on, but the tadpoles will take 3 springs or more to be as big as I am. Each living thing takes its own time. Just then, Oscar saw that his mother was coming. What about me? He asked Frog. How long will I stay a kitten? You will be a full-grown cat by winter, Frog said, as big as your mother is now. Oscar looked at his mother. She was much bigger than he was. Don't be silly, Frog, he said, laughing. It's true, Frog said. Wait and see. And so then, in the back of this book, it says thinking about growing. By the pond, Oscar found out about these things. He found out about that some eggs hatch, and then some sprouts from seeds, and that some things are born. He learned that all living things have to eat to grow. Like a tadpole eats pondweed, caterpillars eat leaves, and birds eat bugs. He also learned that getting bigger, that living things grow at different speeds. Like a plant or a flower only takes a few days to grow. Birds take a few months. Froggies take a few years, and trees take many, many years. I want you to think, how long is it going to take you to grow up?